What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Boleros. Sam here with Gab and Maui. Hello, guys. What's up?
Hello.
Hey! Matagal na tayo since our last fantasy draft, guys. One year na since yung last fantasy draft.
Ibig sabihin na off-season na. Yeah, may ganun.
Oh, tama, Maui, no? You know it's officially the off-season when we're doing our fantasy draft. Kasi wala nang ibang mapag-usapan. But before we get to the details of our fantasy draft, quick news update. We talked about Jacob Cortez potentially leaving San Beda and going to Lasal last week. That has been confirmed today. So a few days ago, he confirmed na alis siya. And today we've seen reports na confirmed na he's going to Lasal to join KQ in season 88, I guess.
If KQ stays.
If KQ stays. So you've heard what we've said in the previous episode. If you haven't seen that yet, please check that out. We talked about some of the rumors or latest news about UAAP players switching teams or going to different teams in the previous episode. But for today, we will do a fantasy draft muna. I know there are other news out there. Let's say Cyrus Torres deciding to leave FEU and forgo his final season. We will probably be talking about that and Jacob Cortez joining Lasal and more, hopefully in the upcoming episodes or the upcoming recordings. But for today, as mentioned by Gab and Maui, we will be doing our fantasy draft. And today, it's going to be season 86 fantasy draft. So we've done this before in the past. We've done fantasy drafts of each of the UAAP schools. Those are some of the classic episodes that we have. Fan favorites yung iba dun sa mga yun. So, if you haven't seen them.
Konti pa lang followers natin, Sam. Konti pa lang followers natin. Nag-fantasy draft tayo. So,
wala pa halos.
To our new followers, if you want to check that out, I think those are very yung entertaining episodes. You know?
Very entertaining. Tama ka dyan, Gab. Marami din nagko-comment ng mga teams nila, diba? Or picks nila. So, go ahead and comment kung ano yung picks niyo for those schools. We also did like a similar fantasy draft before where we drafted from a certain season. So to briefly explain dun sa mga bagong listeners natin, the way we'll do this is we'll do a round robin snake draft. So we have already determined yung order ng draft. Maui will go first, tapos ako, and then Gab. Then for the succeeding round, reverse. Gab, ako, and then Maui. And then so on and so forth. We'll do
snake ang tawag doon.
Snake draft. Oh, snake draft. We'll do 8 rounds. Bakit 8 rounds? Because the rule is we're going to draft one player from each of the UAAP team. So for example, si Maui, the draft niya let's say, Kai Balungay from Ateneo, bawal na niya i-draft si Jared Brown. Because si Kai Balungay na yung pick niya from Ateneo. He has to draft another player from another team naman. So to make sure na may madadraft in all teams, that's the rule. Another rule is we can only pick one FSA. Okay? So if may bala kaming i-draft si Precious Momoway, we can't draft Obasa anymore. So just like any other UAAP team, you can only play one FSA. And last but not the least, the most important rule, we are drafting players from season 86. Meaning, we are also drafting yung skill level nila and yung level
version
of play nila. Yung version nila. Yung player version nila in season 86. So, perfect example nito, Jerome Lastimosa. You wanna draft one of the best point guards in Adamson ever? Well, you probably don't want to draft him in season 86 kasi he barely played. He was injured. So, I don't expect any of us to pick Jerome Lastimosa. Tama ba? Unless Gab balak niya i-pick si Jerome.
Yung unless gusto niya ng mascot sa sideline.
Exactly. Cheerleader. Pang cheerleader lang siya ngayon. So, that's more or less the rules. Let's get started. Maui, ikaw ang first pick dito sa draft. Sorry, Maui, before we go, papakita ko pala yung listahan. So, we just got this off the internet. Please let us know kung we missed someone. Or may mali, but I think pretty much most of the big players are there. Tapos ito yung tracker natin. We'll do a recap halfway through the round. So Maui, go ahead. Tell us your first pick for the season 18.
So my first pick, I think you guys talked about this off air kanina. I'm going this route, the easy route. I'm picking a player from the bottom dweller teams in the UAAP. So I'm gonna pick Nick Cabanero from UST.
No!
Because I don't know who else to pick for UST in the succeeding round. So I think it's basically self-explanatory. Nick Cabanero had a very similar season 86 versus season 85. UST also had a similar season 85 to 86. So yeah, I have to pick Nick Cabanero first. Not because I think that he's the best player in the UAAP, could have an argument, but really because I don't know who else in UST warrants a pick in this fantasy draft.
Okay. Nice.
That was the same mindset I had. I'm like, if I get number 1 pick in this draft, I'm picking someone from UST. Nick Caballero na ako, sure.
Okay. So guys, by the way, that's so very interesting na ito yung first pick ni Maui. So as mentioned by Maui, he's not, we all know KQ is the MVP. Maybe KQ is the best pick here and you would pick KQ as your number 1 pick. But because of the rule na we have to pick one player from each team, strategic din for Maui to pick Nick Cabanero from UST. Kasi medyo mahirap pumili ng 3 great players from UST. Okay? And tatlo kami dito. So, with that, so it can also be strategic. Baka lang nagugulat kayo, Maui, siraulo ka ba? Ba't hindi mo pinik si KQ? That's the reason why. Because we have to pick someone from each team. And with that said, with that in mind, my first round pick, is also from UST. Christian Manaytay, Mr. Footwork. The only other player that dominated for UST, if not for Nick Cabanero, I think it was Christian Manaytay who was doing most of the scoring load. So it's an obvious pick for me with Nick Cabanero off the board. I think I have to go with Christian Manaytay because after that, malaki na yung drop off. I think after the top 2, malaki na yung drop off for UST. So that is my pick. I don't know what else to say. But to be fair, Gab, diba, would you say si Manaytay obviously played his best season in season 86 and we spoke highly of him, diba? The entire season. So I think
yes,
warranted naman.
I love that nickname though, Sam. Mr. Footwork. I love that nickname. That encapsulates his game so much. Because in season 86, we kept on talking about him, especially in the first round when we were still trying to get onto the UST train. If there's one bright spot for UST, it's Christian Manaytay because he's 6'4" and he's dominating the inside against taller players just for his sheer footwork. Again, we made this comparison. I think he reminds me when he goes to the post, he reminds me of a Jervy Cruz. That intense footwork inside you just to get away from bigger players. Actually, ito talaga yung 2 eh. Sabi ko, kung ako yung mauna sa first 2, ikukulit kisa sa mga dalawang ito. Nakakainis kayong dalawa. Sino pipiliin ko sa UST? Sino dito? Wala ng tao eh.
Good luck, Gab.
Anyway. Well, I have back-to-back picks. And since screw the 2 of you for picking both UST, I hate you. So for the third pick of this draft and my first pick, when I'm going with, I think, the best FSA, I'm going with Malik Diouf.
Okay.
Maglo-load up na ako dahil tangina yung dalawa. Well, there's not much to say, Malik Diouf is like the best defender in the UAP, the best player to anchor your defense. I've said this multiple times. He's the only one comparable to an Ange Kwame. He's the only one I've ever seen go toe-to-toe with Ange Kwame in the UAAP. And if it weren't for the assists and steals being doubled in the UAP ballot, I think he would have gotten the MVP statistics wise. Just hauls down so many rebounds. We were talking about he has these games where you feel like he did little, but you look at the stat sheet, he has like 15 points, 19 rebounds, 2 steals, 3 blocks. I'm like, what? I did not see that at all.
Parang
And
timbangkan lang no?
Yep. Malik Diouf. Anything you guys want to say about Malik Diouf?
Yeah, I think maganda yung conversation coming into season 87 kasi I think this is the first time in probably 7 or 8 years that we don't know the clear-cut leader, the FSA coming to the season, di ba? I mean, that speaks volumes on the level of play ni Malik Diouf, similar to Mbala and Ange Kwame did for Lasal and Ateneo respectively. I think there's nothing to add. If I didn't have that predicament to pick ni Cabanero, I would have probably picked Malik Diouf first also. Yeah, I agree, Gab. Definitely, I would go for Malik Diouf to anchor my defense.
Yeah. Tama naman. One of the top 2 players probably in the entire UAAP for season 86. It's just that we have to pick a player from each team. Kaya UST yung top 2. Good pick, Gab.
Well, lang hiya kayong dalawa because for my second pick in this draft, I'm taking Kevin Kiambao. So screw the 2 of you. I have Malik Diouf and Kevin Kiambao. Lahiya kayo eh. Wala lang
top 2 US. Top 2 players.
Well, there's nothing much to say. I think if I'm building a team around 2 players, it will be one, the best defender in the UAAP to anchor the defense. And if I want a hub for my offense, there's no one better than Kevin Kiambao. I mean, we've seen the leap this guy has taken from season 84 to 85 to 86. We mentioned this multiple times during the season. From a guy who had one offensive move, that one-handed, it's not even a floater. It's like a push shot from the mid-range. He now has sort of a complete bag on the offensive end. Playmaking, the passing, the vision, the scoring, the pull-up from mid-range, the 3-point shot, the penetration inside, the post moves, complete. Siguro, if there's one other thing he needs to work on, it's definitely his ball handling. I think we've seen multiple times this season, especially in the finals when Alarcon and Torres were guarding him. He does have a shaky handle at times, but I think that can be worked on. We've seen him work on it during pregame, a lot of dribbling drills. If he's staying for season 87, I still think he's the MVP favorite. LaSalle is going to be the favorite for season 87. I don't know what other argument. Siguro UP can have an argument. The fact that they still have an intact lineup aside from Malik Diouf and CJ Cancino. But LaSalle is the clear-cut favorite with KQ still there and with Mike Phillips still there. They're still the best team with the best player. Sam or Maui?
Yeah, as I mentioned, top 2 players for me, arguably KQ and Malik Diouf. KQ is the defending MVP. Clearly, they should have been the top 2 picks. Again, I cannot emphasize that enough. Clearly, they should have been the top 2 picks. Pero because of the rules, may strategic picks din kami, no? So, you can't argue with those picks, Gab.
And KQ is not a slouch on defense also. I think there were a couple of our subscribers who said he's not a good defender. Bro!
Lalo na sa finals. Dude stepped up.
His biggest play in the finals was a block shot off on Jerry Abadiano, which I think it could have tied the game or something, but he blocked his shot and then gave LaSalle back the basketball. His biggest play was on defense, so he's not a slouch on defense as well. Maui, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, I just want to agree also. I think we've harped upon on how magnificent KQ was in season 86. I think the whole season, we're all praises for KQ. I think the best part, as you mentioned, Gab, is no finals, he showcased a different side of him. I didn't have to score a lot. He contributed on defense, on hustle, and definitely probably he has to work on yung ball handling niya, and it's gonna be scary time for Kevin Chambao. Can he stop that guy in the UAAP? That's something that I'm looking forward to for season 87. We see a different version of Kevin Chambao every season, from season 85 to 86. From season 83, I think, or 84 during the juniors division, what a leap he has taken from a big man who was just athletic to now a do it all forward. I would be surprised if he converts his game into a shooting guard next season.
By the way, sa strong group dun sa training nila, 'di ba? He's playing really more of a wing now kasi obviously they have like bigs like sina Dwight Howard doon. So mas pinapalaro siya as a wing as far as I've seen or as far as I've heard.
As they should, because in international play, if he's gonna turn into a wing, I think his ceiling is higher than what you've seen from Carl Tamayo, who has not really transitioned yet into a wing player. Diba? We mentioned this
maganda game ni Carl Tamayo kanina. We have to give a shout out to Carl Tamayo. I think he had 16 points in their
EA. But he's more of a stretch 4 pa rin, diba?
Yeah. He's still more of a stretch 4 versus that Carl Tamayo we saw during the Tab Baldwin era sa Gilas. Which I agree, Gab. He should transition to the wing to get a higher ceiling similar to Kimbao.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Sam,
moving on.
Second pick.
Next pick. So, second pick ko to. My second pick will be a favorite of Gab. So, I can't believe he didn't get him, pero I can't argue with KQ.
Joaquin Manuel?
Oo, correct. Joaquin Manuel. Joke lang. I'm going with the GOAT, Ray Remogat as my second pick. Ano pa bang masasabi ko dito? MVP level season, I would say, for Remogat. Unfortunately, they did not make it to the Final Four yet again. Pero big improvement for Remogat. I guess, preview na yung last season. He barely got any playing time last season except for the last 2 games. We thought fluke lang yon, 'di ba? 2 games lang siya naglaro, but he showed it to us all season long. He proved na he belongs and he's really a superstar. And I wouldn't be surprised kung magkaroon siya ng another MVP level season next season. So looking forward to that. And I know a lot of other teams are trying to steal him from UE. Also, I wouldn't be surprised if he leaves UE for another UAAP team or maybe to go pro. We don't know. He's that good. Anything you want to add, Maui?
Sana magstay sa UE. I wouldn't be surprised if, I mean, he said
UE must pray that he stays, or else they're gonna go back to the bottom.
Yeah, pero the transfers of potentially Baklaan to Lasal or some rumblings UP might squash all the rumors of Remogat transferring to another UAAP team. So Jacob Cortez is already confirmed with Lasal. I just hope that Remogat stays. He can use that another year of being that alpha dog, then probably use that leap to get to the pros. Potentially, I think he would play pretty well in Korea and potentially follow the footsteps of RJ Barrientos and get another step to get to the B League.
If I were Ray Remogat, his game is pretty complete already. I mean, he's just so awesome. He can shoot, take the basket, make, and play off the pick and roll. But for this offseason, there's one thing I would work on for him. I would train more with Precious Momoway. Because I think if he unlocks Precious make Precious Momoway more efficient as a secondary guy, I think that will unlock big things for UE next season. UE must pray that he stays. Because if he leaves, they're going straight back to the bottom and probably battling UST for that bottom slot right there. But yeah, I've said it multiple times. He's one of the most exciting players to watch in the UAAP. Yeah. UE has the past 2 years under Jack Santiago have been so entertaining. They're just amazing to watch. Up tempo basketball. they almost always play exciting games for some reason. So for next season, if Remoga stays, I'm probably tuning into more UE games because they're really that good. They're that good and they're that entertaining. All right, Maui, second pick mo.
Yeah. So I'm going back to back, similar to Gab. My next pick is the Rookie of the Year from season 86. I just love this guy's versatility, and I hope much like Kambao, he makes use of yung off season and develops into a wing, transition into the wing, shooting guard, small forward slot. I think that if he can do this, he can probably play anywhere abroad. I have to go with Francis Lopez. Despite all the off-court issues during the off-season, this guy played the hell of a season. 86. He definitely surprised me a lot. I was not very high on LeBron Lopez, Francis Lopez, coming into season 86 because of the log jam, the power forward slot. But I was wrong. He was leaps and bounds ahead of the nearest competitor for the power forward slot. I think that's where UP struggled a ton during season 86 with only Terculas having to serve that backup role. So yeah, you guys know I want long athletic wings always in any fantasy draft we do. So I have to go with LeBron Lopez for my second pick.
I cannot argue with that. Actually, he was on the top of my list if I was gonna get something. The only thing against him, I think he has to polish his game a bit more. And in terms of basketball IQ, not really the best. I mean, that was apparent in Game 3 of the finals. A lot of bone-headed mistakes from Francis Lopez. The game has to slow down for him. I think Coach Gould has to work on that with Francis. He doesn't have the biggest offensive bag. Again, he relies a lot on his athleticism to get by. And that can't be the case if you're gonna try to play internationally because there are players who are gonna be as athletic or more athletic than you are. So I think they have to work on Francis Lopez's basketball IQ, his patience, his vision to see the floor, the way he has. But with a guy of his athleticism, it's a good starting point. I do hope he stays. I think I've said this multiple times throughout season 86. We've said this multiple times throughout season 86. It will do him good to stay one more season in UP because more development, I think. I think nakita naman ng UP fans and ng UAAP fans in general this year na he's good, but there's a lot more that he can learn from staying in the UAAP. Sami?
Yeah, nothing to add. I think agree with Maui. He was far more advanced than what I expected. So I think there's nowhere to go but up for Francis Lopez, and he's in a good program. So I'm not that worried na about him in the next season. I'm pretty sure he's going to develop his game even further. Maui, ikaw ulit ang magpipick, tama ba?
Yeah. My next pick is a versatile guard, one who rebounds the ball and bid his goodbye to the UAAP. I have to go with one of my favorite players in the UAAP for the past seasons. This guy plays hard anytime, and he is the hero against my alma mater Ateneo. I have to go LJ Gonzalez. I just think that he is one of the top, if not the top point guard in the UAAP in terms of having all those skills. I'm very excited where he's able to go. Apparently he was injured most of season 86 and still performed a better than season 85. So I hope he gets healthy. I heard that he's already signed to play in the MPBL. Then maybe he can go to the PBA, and if he develops his outside shooting, then maybe a few years down the road he can also go to another league abroad. Any thoughts, guys?
Ako, he made the mythical five, diba? I love watching LJ Gonzalez, except when he's playing Ateneo, because for some unknown God who knows what the reason is, he play against Ateneo brings the best out of him. And I watched twice this season him destroy Ateneo in the clutch for 2 games. Again, FEU had 3 wins, diba? They had 3 wins this season. 2 came against Ateneo. And I watched both. I remember the first round in overtime, hitting those clutch shots over Ian Espinosa. And I was there live when he hit the bank shot to
Yun talaga
the
yun
bank
eh.
shot buzzer beater.
Buzzer beater after Ateneo beat UP. Diyos ko.
Diba? I mean, again, his outside shooting maybe is a bit suspect nga yung tama si Maui, but all other aspects of his game, his defense, his dribble penetration, his pick and roll offense, his cutting, everything is already there. Well, he's really old already, so everything is there at that pro level already. Consistent outside shooting is the next level he has to go to. So hopefully hindi siya matuloy sa PBA. I want to see him in foreign leagues. I do think he has that skill set. He's that good of a player to get himself a contract abroad. Sammy?
Para sa akin, si LJ Gonzalez is an FEU legend. It's just sad. No matter what you say, it's just sad na his last 2 seasons didn't end so well. They missed the Final Four, but he's definitely a superstar and FEU legend. Galing pa yan high school, diba? FEU high school. So, people will remember him and he will be loved by the FEU alumni forever. Sayang lang talaga na it did not end well. But I wish him all the best. Good pick din. Okay.
Oh, Sam.
Next pick. Actually, medyo mahirap na yung pick na to eh. I'm not sure kung where I wanna go, but siguro I'm gonna go with medyo, I don't know, surprise pick ba to? I'm gonna go with one of the most improved players this season. Maui, I think Maui ikaw yung nagsabi na you were expecting a lot from him at during the preseason pa lang nakikita mo na he improved this game, he improved his 3-point shooting. I'm probably the most consistent player for his team this season. I'm gonna go with Jake Figueroa from the NU Bulldogs.
I love that pick. I was gonna get him.
Workhorse.
Nasa
Super
yan,
consistent.
MVP list ni Gab at one point, di ba? When NU was really ramping it up.
Correct. Oo nga pala. Tama.
And he was, yung tama ka, Sam, no? He was the most consistent player for NU. Even in that Final Four smackdown that LaSalle laid down on NU, Jake Figueroa was the only guy keeping them sort of at a manageable distance against LaSalle. He was their offense for most of that Final Four game. And I can't say enough about the improvement that this guy has made. Similar to Kevin Kiambao in season 84. If you watched him in season 84, his offensive skill set was very limited. But now, has expanded talaga. His outside shooting still needs work, although he has proven that he can hit it. I mean, he hit a big-time 3 against Ateneo. Parang lahat na naalala ko sa mga players na to, galing Ateneo games eh. But he did, diba? Round 2, he did hit a big 3. He did hit a big 3 to seal the game for NU. But he can drive to the basket. He now has a better handle. Again, I've said this many times. If you watch him on defense, he is amazing on defense. He's just that good of a defender. And next season, without Kian Baclaan there, I think a lot more offense is going to go through Jake Figueroa. I hope he handles the pressure well. He's now going to be the guy, not anymore Kian Baclaan. So it's Jake Figueroa's team now, clearly. Maybe Humamoy will have a say in that, but it's clearly Jake Figueroa's team now. Maui.
Yeah, I think we were all, I was very high on him. I see a lot of Mac Bello.
Yeah, I remember that.
I mentioned during the season. I
Yeah,
think
good
this guy has
comparison.
really improved by leaps and bounds. He could have stopped and just not transition his game. Di ba? Kasi he was a mythical team, I think, or even an MVP sa juniors division. But he was
MVP
a big
siya
man.
sa Adams.
Di ba? He was a big man during that
Oo.
time. But now he's slowly transitioning to the wing guard slot. I hope he continues to improve. Hopefully, we see him in the pros soon. This guy was really definitely the most consistent, as you guys mentioned, for NU last season, even more so than Baclaan, because I would argue that Baclaan was hot and cold during season 86. But Figueroa definitely brought his game every game, regardless if he was scoring. He was that versatile. He could do his damage on the rebounding side. He could also do his damage on the defensive end. So yeah, I agree definitely. This is probably Jake Figueroa's time to shine. Kian Baclaan is out. Jake Figueroa will definitely have a lot more responsibility come season 87, and let's see where it goes.
Yung gusto ko dun sa game ni Jake Figueroa, hindi siya pilit no? He plays within the system and he scores really well within the system. Hindi siya one-on-one or pilit na tira or anything like that. So that's what I appreciate about him then. Gab.
Okay, so I was thinking of getting a point guard for my team, but looking at the landscape of the UAP, there are a lot of guards. The Philippines, yung Filipinos are very guard heavy. They're very talented guards. So I'm gonna go with the wing, and possibly it's on Maui's list or maybe on Sam's list. From Ateneo, I'm taking Chris Kuhn. Now, he was inconsistent for majority of the season. He was very inconsistent. There were games he laid an egg. I'm remembering round 2 against UP, laid 0 points. There were games he scored 20 plus. He dunked on Mike Phillips in the first round, if I remember correctly. He hit big threes, but as a guy 6'4" with guard skills and with an outside shot, although he can't go right, he can only go left. But I think Chris Goon for this team, right beside a KQ, I think it's a sure win for me. He may have not had the best ending to season 86 with those air balls against UP from the free throw line and from 3. But I still think for next season, he's coming back. He's probably going to be the team captain. It's his last playing year. I still think his skill set is just so it's just so complete, no? He's a pretty good defender. He's fast. He can dribble. He can shoot the ball. And yung nga sabi ni Maui, yung nag-lock in sa akin nung sabi ni Maui when he was sitting courtside, he was the hub of the defense. He was one calling out all of the coverages, all of the plays of the opposing team. He was that guy on the court directing everyone. And in terms of leadership, man, I don't think you can ask anything more from a guy like Chris Kuhn. I love his skill set. Again, inconsistent. Masakit siya yung panoorin at times as an Ateneo fan, but I still love him. I still think he's going to be pretty important for season 87 for Ateneo. Maui or Sam?
Yeah, I agree. I'm very high on Chris Kuhn, even for season 86. My hope is for season 87 is that he enters the season healthy. I think that's been the case. That's been the case for season 85 and 86. Season 85, he had problems with his shoulder. Season 86, he had problems with his foot. So I think yung main thing that Chris Kuhn really has to get going for season 87 is to be healthy and not be injured during the season. That would probably showcase yung full potential ni Chris Kuhn. But yeah, I love this guy. He's one of the most underrated guys, I would say, sa UAAP. Maybe because he's very inconsistent on the offensive end, as Cab mentioned. There were some games that he looked like the best player. Round 1 versus LaSalle, he destroyed LaSalle. Round 2 versus UP, he laid an egg. I think that was the common theme for Ateneo also the whole season, the inconsistency. And I think it's really because of the play of Chris Kuhn also. When you have that key guy, that number 1 guy, who is inconsistent like Kuhn, and to an argument could be for Balungay, then definitely your team will also be inconsistent. So definitely hoping and praying that Chris Coon will enter season 87 fully healthy. I think that's the main important thing for this guy moving forward.
Sam.
I know he was inconsistent nung season 86, pero kung teammates ni Chris Coon, si Malik Diouf at si KQ, I don't think he's going to be inconsistent. Yun lang masasabi ko. I don't think he needs to dominate or have the ball all the time. So if KQ is sharing the ball, the ball handling with Chris Coon, I think Chris Coon's gonna do really well. Yun lang masasabi ko.
Yes, and with that, since I'm back-to-back picks, with my next pick, I'm gonna go with another big from Adamson, Cedric Manzano, because
Baby boy.
I plan. Yes, baby boy. And I plan on playing Kevin Kiambao as a wing, Chris Coon as the other wing, and I'm playing yung Cedric Manzano at the 4. Isipin mo, Malik Diouf and Cedric Manzano as your front court.
Bully boy.
Yes!
Bully boy
basketball. I love Cedric Manzano. I do remember in round 1 in that upset win over Ateneo, that buzzer beater by Vince Magbuhos against Ateneo, Cedric Manzano dominated the second half against Ateneo. I was there live and I was screaming, someone box this guy out. He was getting every offensive rebound possible in the third and fourth quarters. And it was not until Coach Tab put Joe Obasa on him that he stopped grabbing every freaking offensive rebound. And it's not just in that Ateneo game. All throughout the season, he proved that he was a beast inside. He could dominate opposing big men with his strength and with his footwork also. If Christian Manayta is Mr. Footwork, Cedric Manzano has that claim as well. His footwork in the paint is also impeccable. I love his game. He has shown the ability to shoot from the outside. I hope he does it more in season 87. What Adamson will accomplish in season 87 lies heavily on Cedric Manzano. He's their guy. He may not be the guy who shoots the clutch shots like Monty Montibon, but Cedric Manzano is their linchpin. No? Ojarikre was unplayable for majority of the season. So Manzano was the guy manning the center spot against bigger players, and he was still dominating. That's how highly I think of this guy, and I'm sure I see Cedric Manzano and I look at him, and if he was playing in the mid 2000s, maybe in the 2010s, I'm sure he would have been a superstar. Maui or Sam?
Tinitingnan ko pa lang tong lineup ni Gab ngayon. Mukhang hindi na tayo makakakuha ng rebound sa lineup na to, Maui. May Baby Boy, may Diouf, tapos may KQ pa na wing player.
And I was also thinking,
Chris Coon, sobrang laki. Sobrang laki ng guard niya. So,
and I was also
thinking
thinking
it's going to be hard to rebound against this team.
That I could also play Cedric Manzano as a backup 5 if ever Malik Diouf gets into foul trouble.
Pwede,
He's also
pwede.
pretty capable at doing that. Diba?
Tama.
Yeah! Kayo kasi nag-USD kayo una. Yan tuloy.
Honestly,
ako, kabanyero na ko ako. Si Sammy Manaytay. Malaking
okay. Ito lang masasabi ko. Honestly, KQ talaga yung first pick ko. Alam ko na nung sinabi niyo ako. But gusto ko lang gaguhin talaga si Gab. That's why I know Gab loves Christian Manaytay. So panahala na, I'll take one for the team. Para lang gaguhin si Gab.
No. Don't excuse yourself from picking a USD player. Anyway, it's your turn.
Okay, sige. Since I have Remo Goat as my point guard. So I think I'm gonna go with a big man, a center. Since kailangan ko ng rebounding, I have to go with the guy that competed against Malik Diouf in the finals, that out-rebounded him, out-energized him. I have to go with Big Mike, Motor Mike Phillips as my big man.
Nako. Nako. Maui, who were you going with at center?
I was supposed to go with Mike Phillips, to be honest, for my next pick. This guy
Because
also...
I saw your face. Because I saw
Yeah.
your face when Sam picked Mike Phillips. Oh shit.
This guy also huge leap in season 86 in my opinion. This was strictly a hustle player in season 85, and I think si Coach Topex really unlocked yung confidence in Mike Phillips. He was very confident in season 86. He showcased a different side of him, from his drives to his passing at a high elbow. I'm excited with where Mike Phillips' career go. Hopefully, he gets that Gilas eligibility in the future. I think he can be part of that future of Philippine basketball. This guy has a lot of potential and a high ceiling. If he can get to the next level and get an outside shot, then he can probably transition to the power forward slot, and that's gonna bode well for his ceiling going abroad. I like that pick, Sam. I was gonna pick Mike Phillips, to be honest. Gab.
Si Mike Phillips kasi, I love watching him play. Nung una, tama nga si Maui, no? Ang sarap manood lang ng guy who just pours his heart out on the court. Nag-hustle for every rebound, yung every loose ball. And he has transitioned from that to being one of the most exciting players to watch because he's also a highlight reel guy. Every time I look at Mike Phillips, I see...
Lalo na yung season 8.
Diba? Yung mga putback dunks niya, the alley-oop dunks from KQ. I do remember he had a putback dunk in game 1 of the finals of a free throw. And we were all like, what the hell? You don't see that. Diba? I think, Maui, you had around 3 or 4 times you've said, you don't see that in the UAAP whenever Mike Phillips does something. He also had the spin move to a dunk in game 1 of the finals, and we all like, oh, this is not something you see in the UAAP, and he's incredible. Again, his game has evolved. He has the green light to shoot from 3. He doesn't do it as often. He can take it off the dribble, although as the finals wore on, he stopped doing that as often as he was in game 1. But yeah, if he can develop more of that offensive skill set, LaSalle will be in good position to go back to back. Him and KQ are still there. The point guard slot, the guard slot in general is going to be their question mark, but you have no questions about their front court. Mike Phillips and KQ, the best 1-2 front court combination. I don't think there's even an argument for anyone else. No? Sammy?
Yeah. Hindi, sorry. Si Mike, ako nagpick kay Mike, so nothing to add there.
Yeah.
Maui.
So, it's back-to-back picks again for me. I think yung first pick ko is...
Sorry, Maui.
Sammy.
Yeah. Piliin mo muna yung 4th pick mo, tas mag-recap tayo, and then pick your other pick. Okay. Go ahead.
So, since Sammy picked Mike Phillips, I have to go with the big man. I'm playing fast. I love Joe Obasa, but I love the motor of Precious Momoway so much that I have to go to Precious Momoway. I want to play fast. It's Francis Lopez. It's LJ Gonzalez, Nick Caballero. I just think that Momoway will fit in completely in my lineup just because I want to play fast. So I have to go with Momoway as my next pick.
And surprising siya, Gab. Pero you have to admit, Momoway was a MVP contender dun sa, not just stats MVP contenders mo. So, if you think about it, it's not that surprising. Could have been Rookie of the Year also, if not for the disqualification out of technicality. So, it's still a good pick, I would say.
I was actually looking at Maui's team, and once, Sam, nung pinili mo na si Mike Phillips, sabi ko, I'm sure Maui is gonna go with Obasa next.
Obasa.
I mean, diba? Yun ang ine-expect ko eh. Na someone from Ateneo, maybe he'd go with Joe Obasa. He doesn't have a big man yet. But the Momo pick really shocked me. I really thought he would go with Joe Obasa. But yeah, I guess it makes sense. Again, no, he does make some boneheaded plays at times. You know, I do remember nung Adamson game, nung that very exciting Adamson game, yung in their last game of the season. Diba? When he got the rebound before Jack Cruz Dumont hit that three to give them the lead. He did try to dribble it off the floor before he gave it up to Jack Cruz Dumont. And a few plays before that, he did the exact same thing. He got the rebound, dribbled it up the floor, and turned it over. I was scared he was gonna.
I remember that sequence.
Yung takot ko lang sa iyo, Maui, is may Precious Mamuwega sa Francis Lopez eh. Ito yung dalawang kings of boneheaded plays minsan eh.
Minsan ang dami lang ginagawa mo. Kasi they are real rookies, di ba? Like, unlike Obasa, who has had vast experience in playing in Ateneo Team B. Momoy was just a quick replacement at the last minute, di ba? So he's a real rookie, much like Francis. Or maybe Francis Lopez, you can... there's an argument if he's a real rookie.
Ako lang para kay Momoy, if they unlock Momoy, he's gonna be a beast. I mean, nakita mo na yung ano eh, yung
flashes.
Yung flashes, yeah, of skill. He can rebound the ball. He has some post moves. He has a touch around the basket. He has to rein it in a bit. But there are times he tries to go off the dribble, yung one-on-one on the perimeter. I'm like, oh, bro, why the hell are you doing that? Get inside. You can't dribble. But yeah, UE has to unlock him for season 87. They have to unlock Momoy and make sure no one gets him also. There are rumors that there are people that are trying to get him because I think he still has 4 more years of eligibility.
Yes.
Okay, sige. Before you go to your 5th pick, Maui, let's do a quick recap. So, recap lang ng pick so far. Team ni Maui, Nick Cabanero, Francis Lopez, LJ Gonzalez, Precious Momoy. Sa akin, Manaytay, Remogat, Figueroa, Mike Phillips. Kay Gab Malik, Diouf, KQ, Chris Kuhn, Cedric, Baby Boy, Manzano. Okay, so yun yung first 4 picks of each team so far. Let's go to the second round. So, picks 5 to 8. First pick ulit, si Maui.
For my fifth pick, I'm going for somebody in Ateneo. This is, I think, yung predicament ni Coach Tab the whole season. Who to play? It's gonna be Balungay or Amos. But I'm going for my boy, Mason Amos. In this pick. Just because I want that consistent 3-point shooter on my team. I also think that having a Momoy and having a LeBron Lopez can make up with yung mistakes ni Mason Amos that he had on the defensive end. Having LJ Gonzalez, Momoy, and LeBron Lopez, 3 mobile guys who really do a good job on the defensive end, will pay dividends on having one of the top offensive players during season 86. I think outside of Kevin Kiambao and probably Rimogat, this guy has an argument based on advanced metrics that he is one of the top offensive players in season 86. It's just that Ateneo had to play Balungay also, and they couldn't play Balungay and Amos at the same time. And unfortunately, Mason Amos has a lot of things to do on the other side of the floor, on the defensive end. So yeah, I have to go with Mason. This is an early announcement that Mason Amos will have a big season 87. Hopefully.
Oh, grabe. Ganun ka-high si Maui kay Mason Amos. Piliin niya si Mason Amos over his MVP pick kay Balungay. Are you shocked?
Oo nga, no?
Sam?
Oo nga, no? Nalimutan ko yun,
Are you shocked at all, Sammy?
Hindi rin eh. Kasi alam mo naman si Maui has been talking about Mason Amos for the past 2 years since high school pa lang siya sa Gilas pa lang siya, hindi pa siya naglalaro sa Ateneo. Maui's been hyping up Mason Amos. So, alam ko, ine-expect ko na actually, ine-expect ko pick ni Maui, fourth pick niya si Amos eh. But
Kaya si Momo
doesn't matter,
kaya hindi si
back to back
Obasa
naman
din.
eh. Back to back naman.
Okay,
Because we want to get that
makes
Mason
sense now.
Amos too.
Yeah. That's true. Strategic din. Gab, anything you want to add?
Hindi, ako lang, I was just thinking about it in the past couple of weeks and just doing my self-reflection on the season. Wow, my self-reflection on the season. But, yeah. I was thinking about it na very different kasi yung shooter ngayon ni Coach Tab Baldwin. No? In the past versions of this Ateneo team, his shooter has always been on the perimeter. You think back the likes of Anton Asistio, Tyler Tio, Jolo Mendoza,
Adrian Wong.
Adrian Wong. His shooters have always been guards, perimeter-oriented players. Now his shooter, the one he plays for, is a big guy. So I saw a lot of really new plays this season. So if ever you wanted to see something different from Tab Baldwin, watch the difference in his sets from season 85 to season 86. It's sobrang different. The plays he runs, he doesn't run them anymore for guards or wings. He runs them now for big guys like Kai Balungay, like Mason Amos. He runs so much plays for Mason Amos to get free, to get open shots. And si Mason, it has come to that point na whenever he shoots something, I stand up expecting it always to go in. There are only a few players I ever feel that way. I think back to the likes of sila Ren Ritualo, Jai Reyes, Chris Chu, the guys I root for na when they launch something, I always say, oh no, it's going in, or oh yes, it's going in. Oh no, siyempre kung kay Ren. Pero, yeah, his stroke is that pure. Is that pure talaga. Sammy, it's your pick.
Okay, binawian ako ni Maui, no? So, Mason Amos was my next pick. Although, in-expect ko na yun. I really wanted a shooter. So, I'm looking for a shooter now. And I think I have to go with sino ba? Actually, I'm gonna go with the best shooter para sa akin. Si Joric Bautista. The best shooter in FEU para sa akin. Si Joric Bautista. Not Cyrus Torres. I think in season 86, the best shooter in FEU was Joric Bautista.
Sammy was my next pick!
Based on your reaction, Gab, mukhang I picked Joric Bautista at the right time kasi mukhang na-disappoint ka doon, Gab. And Gab, alam kong disappointed ka kasi I've mentioned this before. Siya yung player to watch out for mo when we ended season 85. Naalala ko yon, I distinctly remember that. You said etong si Joric Bautista can explode in season 86 and grabe yung mga pag uminit tong si Joric Bautista, he cannot miss. And sometimes grabe yung mga clutch plays niya. Every time FEU is in a close game at the end of like the fourth quarter, bigay mo lang kay Joric Bautista, babato niya any type of 3-point shot, it will go in. So he was that good in season 86. So for me, he was the best shooter for FEU yung season na to. Gab, anong masasabi mo dun?
I hate you because siya yung literally plano kong piliin.
Gusto ko lang talaga gaguhin ka eh. Alam ko na yun yung pick mo sa totoo lang.
Siya yung literally, Sam, may game plan na ako when this draft started. Sabi ko, load up ako on big guys. And when I picked say you Cedric Manzano at 4, sabi ko, my next 4 gonna be guards and shooters. And top of my list was Joric Bautista because where do you get a guard who can make that well and still shoot that well? There are few in the UAAP. And the leap that Joric Bautista has taken this past season, was amazing to watch because I had my eye on him since season 85. Sabi ko, this guy has more skill than the rest of the guards that FEU has. And he showed that in season 86. And I hate you, Sam Santos. Langhiya ka, bakit mo ginagawa sa akin to? Si Manaytay kinuha mo na nga, tapos ngayon si Joric pa, langhiya ka. Maui, anything to add? Visit ka, Sam Santos. Maui. Oh, I think Maui has stalled for a bit. So, I will be making my 5th pick. And Sammy,
back to back ka, di ba? Back to back.
Yep. Back to back. I really hate you eh. Because, sabi ko, if I get Joric, I'm gonna get another big guy. I'm gonna get my boy, PJ Palacelo from NU. But now I can't do it. Because I'll have to take a guard with shooting. So, from NU. And I'm gonna take Kian Baclaan at as my 5th pick. Someone has to run the offense and shoot the ball. Chris Kun and KQ can shoot, but you need the guard as good. And I wanted Joric eh. I wanted talaga Joric talaga yung nasa isip ko eh. Lang kaya ka talaga, Sam. So I'm taking Kian Baclaan as my 5th pick. My plans. Sam, Maui, anything to say about Kian Baclaan and his future? Where might he go?
Ayan na. Pinagsama mo na si Kian Baclaan at si Kevin Cambao.
At si KQ, no?
This could be a premonition to the future, diba? I mean, KQ was just interviewed and he said that he wanted Baclaan to go to Lasal. No confirmation pa rin. It's something that we've been waiting for, I think, for the past week or so. But yeah, Baclaan definitely was that star player for NU. If they had that very stable Jake Figueroa, they had that Kian Baclaan ceiling for NU, I think, in season 86. Wherever Kian Baclaan went, NU went. Unfortunately, Kian Baclaan, much like Omar John, did not end the season on a good note. So NU was relegated to the 3rd slot and eventually eliminated. But yeah, this is probably my biggest surprise for this offseason. I did not expect, to be honest, Kian Baclaan to even consider transferring schools. I thought that he and his coach Jeff Napa really had a good understanding on how to play the game. It's a bit surprising that the lead guard of Jeff Napa leaves. I'm sure that Jeff Napa has destroyed a lot of Starbucks tumblers when he heard this news. Definitely, Kian Baclaan has been his starting point guard. For the past 2 seasons one season they overperform, another season they sort of underperform, but still made the Final Four. So yeah, the value of Kian Baclaan is, we'll see it next season. If Umamoy does not take that leap, I think that NU could potentially go down a few slots. Sam.
Yeah, fortunately for NU, meron silang humamoy, no? And we all expect him to take that leap. So, and you still have Steve Nash Enriquez. So, you still have quality point guards in NU. But nung season 86, we were talking about NU as the only team that could sort of compete against UP in terms of yung quality of guards that they have. Diba? Sabi ni Coach Tab, UP has the best guards. But we often mentioned NU can compete with the guards of UP. So I think no matter what, I think it's definitely going to be a big loss for NU not to have Kian Baclaan. I know NU High School is a good team also, so maybe they have good recruits coming in also. Gab, you would know better. But tama ka, Maui. I think that's the biggest surprise so far. And it's not yet confirmed. Yun yung medyo exciting part pa. Hindi pa talaga natin confirmed na Lasal talaga pupunta si Baclaan. Could be another school, you never know. So
if he goes to UP, I'm sure Coach Jeff Napa will... Kasi, hindi lang siya magsisira ng Starbucks tumbler, pare. Magsisira na siya ng buong Starbucks branch.
Yung branch na yun, no? Sunugin niya yung branch. Grabe naman.
Just imagine
Grabe
how
naman
many
mag-UP
players
yun.
UP has taken from NU. From the high school level until college. Yung NU yung recruiting ground ng UP.
Parang naging team B na, di ba? Kasi they got Felicinda and Torres. They're starting point guard and shooting guard, and now they're potentially in the mix for Baklaan.
One thing I have to say for Baklaan, I did have a chance to watch him to watch from a patron seat. Yung thank you to my best friend for getting me those patron seats in that LaSalle NU Final Four. And for a brief stretch in the second quarter, I was amazed by Kian Baklaan. I think he scored 10 straight points with so many acrobatic shots in the lane. Just kept NU in the game in that first half. I was so amazed. He was a bit covered in the second half, didn't score anymore. But yeah, on offense, he has the complete package. He can shoot from the outside. He can run the pick and roll. He can penetrate. It's on defense where he's not that much of a defender. But looking at my team, I have KQ, I have Chris Kuhn, and Malik Diouf behind me. I think I'm good on defense. Okay, for my sixth pick. Well, I really wanted to take from UE, Welo Lingo, but I think I do need a bit more playmaking on my roster, and without sacrificing much shooting, I am gonna take Jack Cruz Dumont from UE. Because unlike Welo Lingo, who I think is also has that say in being one of the best shooter, possibly the best shooter in the UAAP, he does not do anything else aside from shoot. He cannot play make, he cannot defend, he cannot run an offense. Jack Cruz Dumont can, and he's shown that ability. He can hit, he can shoot as well. He can defend, he can run the pick and roll. So from UE, if I'm not getting Remogat or Precious Momaway, I'm getting Jack Cruz Dumont.
I like the pick. Versatile, do it all forward. Can do a little bit of everything. And not afraid to defend the best players. So, Gab, you talk about defense no sa team mo. Jack Cruz Dumont most of the time defended the best player of the other team.
Yeah.
So, not a slouch on defense. I like that pick.
Yeah, I agree. You have the Chris Kuhn and the Chris Kuhn of Recto. Si Cruz Dumont.
With the same hairstyle.
Yeah. Nung season, the meme pages of the UAAP were really referring to Cruz Dumont as Chris Kuhn. Ang Chris Kuhn ng Recto. So, you have both versions of Chris Kuhn. I think that Cruz Dumont has a lot to improve on for season 87. He was finally able to get yung reps needed for the UAAP. And he did pretty well, especially in the second round. I think yung second part ng season, he was really crucial to UE. We'll see next year if he takes that next step. I would be surprised if he did also. I think yung brother na is also coming to the fold. But yeah, nothing but good things to say about Cruz Dumont. He had a great season, definitely, especially yung second round.
Okay.
All right. Sam,
next pick.
Your sixth pick.
Tama ba? Sixth pick? Okay. Sixth pick. Speaking of shooters, I did just get Joric Bautista, pero hindi pa ako satisfied. Gusto ko pa ng isang shooter, isa pang clutch guy. And by the way, itong 6 to 8 kasi is diba? Bench na to. So normally when I pick my bench, gusto ko ng versatility. So gusto ko may mix of guard forwards, forward center since may tatlo tayong pick. So for my guard pick, gusto ko ng versatile guard. I'm gonna go with the Ateneo killer, Matthew Montebon, one of the Ateneo killers. Always clutch, lalo na kapag Ateneo ang kalaban. Another rookie sa UAAP, but a bit older than the other rookies. So kita mo naman the way he plays, he doesn't play like a rookie. not afraid of the big moments. And we've seen that countless of times against Ateneo. So I have to pick this guy.
Not just against Ateneo, against UE also. Remember that shot he hit from
Yeah.
the corner? Grabe. Well, he's obviously going to be one of the main guys next season for Adamson. Um, I think Joem Sabandal is still coming back and Joshua Yero. So I think mostly an intact backcourt for Adamson. I can't ding you for this pick, Sam. I like Matthew Montebon, and if I hadn't taken Cedric Manzano with my earlier pick, it was either Montebon or Sabandal for me. Sammy, Maui, sorry.
Yeah, I was also considering Montebon as part of my team kasi I haven't picked from Adamson. I think a lot of the potential of Adamson to compete in season 87 will ride on this guy. Definitely Cedric Manzano will be consistent. Their next FSA, if it's not Ojarique, we'll see. But definitely they have a huge void left sa point guard slot. And I think si Montebon has to step to the plate. I think they're losing Jerome Lastimosa and si Sabandal yata no last season na rin.
Talaga?
Or si Colonia. Or si Colonia.
Or
one
si
of the
Magbuhos
two.
ba?
Si Magbuhos definitely is last year. I think one of Sabandal or Colonia is also
Jed Colonia.
So,
Jed Colonia yung last season,
yeah.
if I remember.
So si Colonia is also exiting. He played a ton of minutes nung second round, especially when Sabandal was hurt. I think that Montebon has to take that next step if Adamson will contend for the Final Four next season. So yeah, agree with your pick. I like that pick definitely. But for
Maui.
me, my next pick, so I have 3 schools left. I have Adamson, LaSalle, and NU. I will strategically put LaSalle last, as I will explain later. But my next 2 picks, definitely from NU, I would have to pick a wing player that I also think could take the leap, take a leap next season. I think si Coach, when I was watching one of the broadcasts, si Coach Olsen was very high on this guy. This guy also had a big game against Ateneo, pero I think in season 84, not 85. I have to go with Jolo Manansala. I think that if he continues to improve his outside shot and his ball handling, he can probably transition also to the guard to a guard, small forward, wing type of player, similar to Figueroa. So yeah, you guys know I love long, lanky, athletic players. Definitely, Mansala fit that profile. So yeah, for my next pick, I have to go with Jolo Manansala.
Sobrang spot on ka dun, Maui, sa sinabi mo na yung things to improve on ni Jolo Manansala, which I thought he would take from 85 to 86, no, that leap. Yung outside shooting talaga yun yung ball handling, because a lot of the points he gets has to be set up for him by his other teammates. You saw a bit more of drives to the basket this season from Jolo, but again, no, it's not as tight of a handle. His 3-point shot is not that consistent. If he takes that leap, he could be a deadly player. But so far, he's just more of he's a hustle guy, a very athletic guy, a guy who drives to the basket, can get points yung inside the paint. But other than that, no, wala pa eh. And hopefully he takes that leap. You know, I want to see him. I mean, he's so exciting to watch. Ang haba niya, tas ang taas siya tumalon, and he has a nose for the ball. Diba? Sammy?
Tatlo kasi yan eh, di ba? Si Malonzo, si Figueroa, si Manansala. Those are your 3 versatile athletic wings. Obviously, Figueroa is the one that really stood out ngayong season na to. And we expected Manansalo also to step up coming from the previous season. Pero I think what will help him also next season is the fact na wala na si Malonzo. So it's really going to be Figueroa and Manansala that will be taking over
Patrick
the reins.
Sam. Si Patrick Yu.
Si Yu din. Oh, correct. Tama. To a lesser extent. Kasi minsan nag-guard kasi si Yu eh. But, yun. So, I really think Manansala has no choice but to step up. And I expect him to step up naman. Especially with a lot of the senior players, other wings leaving the team then. So good pick for me. Hoping he gets better next season.
Oh, Maui, your
Yeah.
7th pick.
So my second to the last pick, it has to be Adamson or Lasal. I'll go with Adamson first. Sammy got Montebon. I really wanted to get Montebon. So I'm going with a seasoned veteran, also another loved player from Adamson, the one who killed Ateneo during the
Birthday
first round.
boy.
On his birthday,
Birthday
I'll
boy.
go with Vince Malbuos. This guy is also fits the profile of the team, the type of players that I always want on my team. Tall, lanky, 3-point shooters, versatile wing. So yeah, Vince Malbuos. Good luck to him. I hope he makes it to the PBA. I think that's probably ceiling for now. We'll see more what happens to his career. Any thoughts?
I'm just looking at your team, Maui, and so, well, you have LJ Gonzalez and Nick Caballero. I'm in, and you said versatile wings who can shoot. I'm interested to see if you pick Joaquin Manuel from LaSalle. He is a versatile wing who can shoot.
Madaming mauuna.
May Policarpio naman, Gab.
May Ian din, Tres Candor. Tres Candor, di ba?
Tres
Si Tres
Candor.
Candor.
Pala. Sabi mo kasi, yung versatile wing who can shoot eh. Sabi ko,
Tama
si
naman.
Joaquin Manuel, nasa
Tama
LaSalle.
naman.
But, Sabi, with your 7th pick.
Okay, for my 7th pick, ako pinili ko din Ateneo and UP strategically last because I think you guys both picked players from both teams already. So it doesn't make sense. So it didn't make sense to put them ahead. So itong players or itong picks ko from Ateneo and UP, it doesn't mean na second to the last pick ko sila. Hindi sila as good as the players earlier. It's just, hindi na rin naman makakadraft sina Gab and Maui. But I'm sure if we just pick based on talent, they would have gone a lot earlier. No? So, for my big man off the bench, para merong onting versatility yung big ko off the bench to switch out with Mike Phillips or Christian Manaytay, I'm gonna go with Kai Balungay. One of the
He will start over Manaytay.
Oh, actually, he will start over Manaytay. Sa totoo lang.
Actually, Sam.
Sa totoo lang.
He will start.
But again, strategic,
accounts.
diba? Again, it's not based on, yung picks naman is not based on talents din. So, he might be the second to the last pick, but he's a starter sa lineup na to. Nothing much to say. He wasn't as beastly or as consistent as he was in the preseason. I guess yun lang yung medyo disappointing on Kai Balungay sa season 86. We expected him to be a monster. Maui picked him as his MVP candidate. Sorry Maui for rubbing it on your face, no, pero totoo naman, sa totoo naman di kami nag-disagree with you, 'di ba, Maui? Kasi he was playing like an MVP nung preseason. He was always player of the game sa Ateneo nung time na yon. Baka nawalan lang ng steam agad or masyadong he peaked too early, but he was still one of the best players.
Na-scout na rin siya eh. Yung na-scout na siya ng ibang teams eh.
Just like Chris Kuhn, a bit inconsistent lang this season, but still one of the top players of Ateneo. I think overall, you have to say Ateneo was pretty inconsistent. Top to bottom, the team was just inconsistent. So, just like Chris Kuhn, ito din, medyo inconsistent. Yun lang yung problem. But, hell of a talented player, helped us win a championship last season. Saludo pa rin ako sa'yo, Kai Balungay.
Just thinking about your lineup, Sam, ang dami mong mga highlight plays. Oh. May remote ka to throw lobs to Kai Balungay and Mike Phillips. Imagine that.
Yeah.
Those two were together and Remogat throwing lobs to them off the pick and roll, off of cuts. What? Kai Balungay. Okay, for my 7th pick in this draft, you took my guys from FEU, Joric Bautista and LJ Gonzalez. So I think I'm gonna have to go with another shooter. And he just declared that he's not coming back to FEU next season. But for the most part of the past 2 seasons, he has been the X factor because if his shots go in, they usually win.
Yeah.
But if the shots don't go in, their offense is crap and they can't score baskets. So Cyrus Torres is my 7th pick for this draft. I have Chris Kuhn, I have Baklaan, I have Cruz Dumont who can also shoot. So I'm not gonna rely solely on Cyrus Torres to shoot me out of game. So I think as a guy who can as a spot up shooter, I think he'll do pretty well in this lineup. So Cyrus Torres as my 7th pick. Any comments before I make my last one?
Yeah, I think my general comment is just good luck. Good luck to Cyrus Torres. I hope he continues to improve. And hopefully makes it to the pros. I think he's signed on sa MPBL right now. I hope he gets to the PBA and just lights it up. Hopefully he becomes more of a consistent 3-point shooter.
Yeah. Last pick.
I think also we mentioned him, Sam, diba? In one of our Gilas episodes before na sinong player sa UAAP yung gusto mong yung think mo na maging valuable para sa Gilas. And I think same yung sentiment natin na Cyrus Torres can be one of that. I mean, if he has a view, if he can stroke it like that from 3, it'll be pretty valuable in the international game. If you think of guys like Matthew Wright, Marshall Lassiter, who have become pretty invaluable to the Gilas program just because of their ability to shoot the ball. But then again, the other aspects of Cyrus Torres' game needs work before he can actually raise his level to the Gilas level. Okay. For my last pick, and wala akong magagawa from UST talaga kasi nakuha na the only 2 guys who have legit skill in UST. So, I'm actually picking between 2 players. One was Migs Pangilinan, another shooter, but I've seen enough for Migs Pangilinan to believe that he's not really a shooter at all. He's just forced to be the shooter on this team, but he's not really a shooter. So I'm gonna have to go with a guy who is thrust into the starting point guard role for the past 2 seasons for UST, has not done much with it. But as the backup to Kian Baklaan, and if he has a secondary ball handler in Chris Kuhn beside him or Jack Cruz Dumont, I think it's not going to be that bad. Paul Manalang. I mean, I can't. I'm looking at USC's roster right now. I don't really see anyone who's so enticing.
Gab, ito lang masasabi mo. Ito lang masasabi ko. Hindi mo na kailangan ilaro si Paul Manalang sa team mo. Hindi na niya kailangan maglaro. Or maglalaro na lang siya pag garbage time na, pagtambak na ng 50 points yung team namin.
Pero naman backup point guard si Chris Kuhn. We've seen him do that.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Kaya kinuha mo na si pahala nung nila, foreign student athlete nila kahit nandyan si Dio since di naman siya maglalaro.
Si Adama Fai. Si Adama Fai.
Di ba?
Actually,
para yun yung reklamo ni Coach Pido eh.
Oo nga.
One guy
left.
I
was expecting Echo Laure para naman big boy.
He was. I was also thinking of him. You wanna just go with a mascot in Echo Laure? Sorry, your last pick. Tawa ako kay Echo Laure.
One final comment on Manalang. I don't know kung it's going to be a good thing for him na papasok na sina Fortsky at sina
It's not.
It's not.
He's probably not
he's gonna play.
He's probably not gonna make that.
I think he's gonna be like the third string point guard or something.
It will help raise his game, diba? Yun yung iniisip ko eh. So, matcha-challenge siya. And as I said, right now, as of this time, UST has a better point guard rotation than Ateneo. As of this time. Anyway,
Where is the
sige.
lie, pare? Where is the lie?
Okay, so last pick. So last pick ko would be from UP. Again, this probably some of the players here are
The
really
most
more
loaded
smart.
team ever.
Yeah, most loaded team ever. Um, okay. So, sa totoo lang, I really want to pick CJ Cancino. Probably the best offensive player left sa team na to. But I do have shooters already. Joric Bautista, Matthew Montebon. Ray Remogat is also a scorer. So, I wanted to pick someone that has defensive versatility. CJ kasi is not as defensive. So, I had to choose between two guys na guard forwards that are defensive since I already have Montebon as a backup guard. So, I was choosing between Jerry Abadiano and Harold
Scary
Alarcon.
Jerry.
Scary Jerry and Harold. And normally, I would pick Harold Alarcon kasi I really love this guy and he has been very good for UP all throughout the seasons, no? Since they won the championship then. But I would say Jerry Abadiano had a better season 86 than Harold Alarcon. Maybe
He
a more
did. He did.
consistent season.
Agree, Sam. Agree. He did.
Impact-wise, yeah.
Impact-wise,
May
si
argument.
Scary Jerry. Maybe except for the finals na medyo nawala si Scary Jerry. But lahat naman sila nawala sa finals. So, with that said,
yung sabi ni sa subscriber natin, naging Fairy Jerry daw siya nung final.
just to be clear, subscriber natin nagsabi nun, hindi tayo kasi baka magalit yung mga Jerry Abadiano fans yan. Si Maui came up with Scary Jerry. Yung subscriber nagsabi, Fairy Jerry. So, anyway, for my last pick, I have to go with Scary Jerry Abadiano. One of the most consistent players in UP this season. Dati, defensive player lang siya. The best defensive player in UP, defensive stopper. Pero this season, he was a beast offensively. Killed also Ateneo in the second round. Was probably one of the consistent guys that always, he was one of the guys that consistently started hot for UP. Sometimes UP would start slow, pero pag once pumasok na yan si Scary Jerry, he would quickly score like 4-6 straight points. So, on top of defending the best player on the team. So, I want to have Scary Jerry on my team for season 86. Sorry na lang kay CJ, kay Harold, kay JD. We're looking at season 86.
Oh, I have no more comment. I mean, I did see this guy score 21 points against Ateneo in the second round. And I nicknamed him Kobe because he looked like Kobe for one game. Hitting every mid. Oh, grabe. Anyway, Maui, go.
Yeah. It would have been nice if I started with, if another person probably picked Kevin Kiambao as the number one pick. For the last pick of our fantasy draft, I will be going with another LaSalle player who I think deserves to be picked early. Based on his contributions. I would have to go Evan Nelly. Evan Nelly, not Joaquin Manuel. Definitely, si Evan Nelly. Without Evan, you saw how LaSalle played without Evan Nelly. If Kevin Kiambao was their most valuable player, then I would argue that Evan Nelly was their 1B. Their second most valuable player. LaSalle struggled when Evan Nelly was off the floor, and this guy deserves his flowers. I think lahat ng hate, lahat ng criticisms he got when he transferred out of the NCAA to the UAAP. Could he handle the pressure? Could he handle the league with FSAs? Could he handle the pressure of LaSalle? And he did. He delivered a championship on his last season in LaSalle. This past season, we've seen Evan Nelly really develop his game, not just on the offensive end. He started to deliver also as a leader. He started to do things outside of scoring and on the offensive end, which I think will bode well for him moving forward. I hope he gets recognition I hope he eventually gets to have a chance to play also abroad. Good luck to Evan Nelly. What a career, what a college career. Not a lot of players can say that they were key cogs in championship teams in two different leagues, di ba? In the NCAA and the UAAP. So credits to Evan Nelly.
I just want to point out na yeah, definitely no. Evanelli probably deserves to go in the first round. You can argue first round nga pwede ka na mag-Evanelli. So again, nasa last pick lang siya just because of strategic reasons. Just something to add, not related to Evanelli actually, but I just want, because relevant siya ngayon. We talked about it earlier. Lasal has another San Beda guard coming in, transferring to Lasal, and if another championship San Beda guard transferring to Lasal. So if it's any indication, it good things always happen kapag may championship caliber San Beda guard na lumipat sa Lasal. So we'll see what Jacob Cortez can do for Lasal in season 88. Yun lang. Just wanted to add that note. Gab.
Ako lang just wanted to end na yung perfect yung last pick ni Maui kay Evanele because he dispelled a lot of the accusations against him from the previous season. Diba? The previous season, they were calling him a choker, ball hog, yung always takes these early threes. And throughout season 86, especially in that second round and in the final four and in the finals, we did not see that Evanele. I mean, he was clutch, he was patient. Wala na yung mga rush shots, and he did everything else on the court. There were games he led Lasal in rebounds. I remember he had a 15 rebound game, a 15 rebound, 10 assist game in one of the second round games. So that's how much his game has evolved. And the choker allegations were kind of unfounded. I mean, they were calling him a choker for the Adamson game in season 85. Well, he did make some mistakes in the clutch, but they wouldn't have been in the game at all if he wasn't that hot in throughout the game. So, Evanele has been so impressive for Lasal. It just so happens na when you're losing in the past seasons, a lot of the mistakes get blown up. And for this season, I'm happy that he ended on a high note. And kudos to him, man. Wherever he goes, I'll be really happy for him. Sammy, end this episode. We're going on 1.5 hours na pala tayo.
Oo nga eh. Sige, so just to end the episode and recap, the final picks or the final teams are for Maui. We have Nick Cabanero, Francis Lopez, LJ Gonzalez, Precious Momoe, Mason Amos, Jolo Manansala, Vince Magbuos, and Evan Nele. For my team, we have Christian Manaytay, Ray Remogat, Jake Figueroa, Mike Phillips, Joric Bautista, Matthew Montebon, Kai Balungay, Jerry Abadiano. Gab has Malik Diouf, Kevin Cambao, Chris Kuhn, Cedric Manzano, Keen Baclan, Jack Cruz Dumont, Cyrus Torres, and Paul Manalang. So those are the teams for season 86. Let us know kung ano yung picks nyo for your favorite teams dun sa aming tatlo, or ano yung picks nyo for your team. And siguro, just to end, marami pa tayong pag-uusapan na content for the rest of the year. Alam kong matagal pa yung season 87, but we're looking forward to it, and we will definitely cover more of them. So please don't forget to subscribe, share it with your friends. Comment down below ano yung ideas nyo for other content that we can do for this season habang inantay natin season 87. That's it for us. Goodbye. See you next time.